Welcome back to Sailboat's Yacht, where classic craftsmanship meets the open sea. Today, we're diving deep into one of America's most legendary sailing yachts, the Columbia 50. Built in the 1960s and designed by the brilliant Tripp, this yacht was not just a beautiful piece of maritime engineering but also a symbol of how fiberglass technology changed the future of yacht building forever. The Columbia 50 is more than a boat, it's a bridge between eras, where wood gave way to fiberglass, and sailing became faster, sleeker, and more accessible to those with a love for adventure and elegance combined. When you first see a Columbia 50 from across the marina, you know it's something special. The sheer line, the elegant overhangs, and the way the hull seems to glide even while sitting still, it's unmistakable. This yacht was one of the largest fiberglass production boats of its time, and yet it carried the grace and poise of a handcrafted wooden vessel. It's a yacht that makes you stop and appreciate how timeless design can still feel fresh decades later. Let's start by looking at what made the Columbia 50 stand out in its day. Produced by Columbia Yachts in California during the mid to late 1960s, it was a bold move to create such a large boat using the relatively new material of fiberglass. At that time, most yachts were still made of wood, and building something 50 feet long in fiberglass was seen as ambitious, even risky. But Columbia Yachts had vision, and that vision paid off. The Columbia 50 became one of the first big production yachts that combined strength, style, and mass production in a way the sailing world had never seen before. The yacht measures 50 feet overall with a beam just over 12 feet. It carries a displacement of around 28,000 pounds, which gives it both heft and stability on the open ocean. The draft, depending on the model, sits near 7 feet, allowing for deep water cruising and serious offshore potential. The hull form is a masterpiece of Tripp's design philosophy: long, lean, and balanced, with a fin keel and separate rudder, making it one of the earliest large boats to adopt a modern underbody. From the outside, what really catches your eye is that long, low profile. The Columbia 50 has that unmistakable sheer line that sweeps from bow to stern in a perfect curve. The overhangs are generous, giving the yacht a sense of motion even at rest. The deck is uncluttered, clean, and designed for both function and beauty. There's space to move around safely, plenty of room for sail handling, and a cockpit that feels secure and commanding, something every helmsman can appreciate. Tripp was known for blending classic aesthetics with performance-oriented design, and the Columbia 50 showcases that balance perfectly. It's not just a cruiser or a racer, it's both. In the 1960s, this boat turned heads at yacht clubs but also proved its mettle in offshore races. The narrow beam and long waterline give it excellent speed, while the fiberglass construction keeps it lighter than a comparable wooden boat of the same size. What made the Columbia 50 truly revolutionary was its ability to be both accessible and advanced. Columbia Yachts produced these boats at scale, using modern molds and production techniques that allowed more sailors to own a big, ocean-capable yacht without the prohibitive costs of a custom wooden build. Yet, it never sacrificed beauty for efficiency. Every curve of the hull and every angle of the deck was shaped with the same attention to elegance that defines a true classic. The rig is a masthead sloop, simple, efficient, and powerful. The sail area is generous, and the boat performs beautifully under a variety of wind conditions. On light days, it glides gracefully, maintaining momentum when others stall. When the breeze picks up, the Columbia 50 comes alive, cutting through waves with a steady rhythm that feels both thrilling and secure. Step below deck, and the Columbia 50 continues to impress. The interior layout reflects the sensibilities of the 1960s, simple, elegant, and practical, with just enough luxury to make long passages comfortable. Most models feature a spacious main salon with a folding teak dining table surrounded by upholstered settees. The craftsmanship stands out immediately: warm varnished mahogany, teak and holly sole, and solid joinery throughout. It's a space that feels like a true sailor's home. Forward, you'll typically find a V-berth, the main sleeping cabin, with classic nautical touches like brass portholes and reading lamps. Aft of the salon sits the galley, compact but efficient, with a gimbaled stove, deep stainless sink, and ample storage for long voyages. The galley is the kind that makes cooking underway a pleasure rather than a chore. Opposite the galley, there's often a navigation station with classic chart drawers, instrument panels, and room for a skipper to plan the next leg of the journey. Further aft, the Columbia 50 often features additional berths or a guest cabin, depending on the configuration, along with a well-designed marine head. The bathroom, or head, is modest but beautifully finished, varnished wood trim, white surfaces, and compact marine fixtures designed for practicality and durability. Everything inside the Columbia 50 feels balanced. It's not flashy, but it radiates quiet sophistication. This is an interior made for people who love sailing, not just sitting at the dock. There's ventilation, plenty of natural light from the portholes and hatches, and enough storage for serious offshore cruising. Now let's talk about how the Columbia 50 performs on the water. This is where Bill Tripp's genius really shines. The yacht is surprisingly fast for its size and era. The long, lean hull shape and moderate displacement allow it to slice through waves efficiently. With its balanced sail plan, it handles beautifully, steady on the helm, responsive, and confident in rough conditions. Downwind, the Columbia 50 can feel almost effortless, gliding on long ocean swells. Upwind, the narrow beam and deep keel help it point high while maintaining excellent balance. Owners often describe the steering as smooth and predictable, a trait not always found in boats of this vintage. The separated rudder and fin keel give it a modern feel even today, a design well ahead of its time in the 1960s. It's also a surprisingly quiet boat underway. The hull's fiberglass construction not only made it lighter but also dampened sound and vibration compared to older wooden designs. When the wind fills the sails, you hear only the hiss of water and the creak of rigging, the sounds every sailor loves. For those who prefer to motor in or out of tight harbors, the Columbia 50 was typically fitted with an inboard diesel engine, powerful enough to provide steady cruising speed when under power. Engine access is practical, and the weight distribution keeps the balance even, minimizing hobby horsing or pitching. So what makes the Columbia 50 such a special classic yacht even today? It's the blend of innovation, style, and heritage. This was one of the first large fiberglass yachts built in America, a pioneer that proved fiberglass could compete with, and even surpass, wood in strength, maintenance, and longevity. Many Columbia 50s are still sailing today, a testament to how well they were built and designed. It's also a boat that offers something rare, genuine offshore capability combined with timeless beauty. The Columbia 50 isn't just a showpiece, it's a performer. You can take it across oceans, race it, or simply cruise in comfort and style. The deck layout is practical, the cockpit secure, and the overall handling forgiving enough for experienced sailors and serious enthusiasts alike. Another key selling point is the interior craftsmanship. Unlike many production boats of its era, the Columbia 50 managed to retain a handcrafted feel. The woodwork is classic, the proportions are elegant, and the atmosphere below deck is warm and inviting. It's a boat that feels alive, a mix of tradition and innovation that continues to inspire modern yacht design even today. And finally, there's something emotional about owning or even seeing a Columbia 50. It represents an age when yacht designers cared deeply about lines, balance, and the pure joy of sailing. Every detail, from the gleam of varnish on the coamings to the sweep of the hull, reflects an understanding of beauty and performance in harmony. It's a boat that was built to be sailed hard and loved for a lifetime. So, whether you're a collector, a sailor, or just someone who appreciates the art of yacht design, the Columbia 50 stands as one of America's true maritime masterpieces. It's a yacht that changed perceptions, set new standards, and continues to turn heads more than half a century after it first touched the water. That's all for today's deep dive into the classic Columbia 50. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to subscribe to Sailboat's Yacht for more timeless sailing stories, design explorations, and yacht reviews from the golden age of sail. Leave a comment below and tell us, what's your favorite classic yacht and why? Until next time, I'm your host from Sailboat's Yacht, reminding you to keep the wind on your beam, the sun on your sails, and the horizon full of possibilities. Fair winds, and see you on the next voyage.